region's medical trailblazers were honoured last night as staff and supporters gathered for the HMRI Awards. Major gongs went to young researchers, including Professor Jennifer Martin, who won the prize for excellence. Professor Martin's work focuses on drug discovery with an emphasis on cardiovascular, cancer and medicinal cannabis.
The vineyards have long been part of the hunter's identity, and today two very different but distinct chapters in their history received worthy recognition, including the resting place of some of the region's first winemakers.
It's the oldest winemaking region in the country, and here lies some of the hunters' forefathers.
There was very few people living in the area, very few opportunities, if you like, to develop the wine industry, but these people persevered in really challenging and extremely difficult times and created a business that we're now so proud of, an internationally recognised business.
Rothbury Cemetery was one of two icons today given heritage cans. Under the local initiative, each year a new site or item of historical significance to the region is recognised.
Without saluting them, we are just bypassing our past and not recognising the tremendous efforts and faith they had in Australian agriculture and Australian horticulture.
The other can was for a Drayton's wine released in the 1960s that met the rapid thirst for Australian labels. Georgia Marr, NBN News.
Ahead, the moment a police traffic stop almost turned deadly.
Doug and Natalie were at a car insurance ad for Yui 5 years ago. Hey guys.
Hi.
They saved $304 back then. Guys, tell me about being with Yui.
It's just been great being with you. We've really enjoyed it. We've saved a lot of money. Every time we need to ring up and make a claim, there's always someone there on the end of the phone ready to take our call. Yeah, Yui are great.
Car insurance that can save you lots and give you great service. Think Yui. Call someone through Yui. Go to yui.com.au.
I guess it's Tar Warehouse. Like, it's our logo. It's who we are. Part of the family, as all Dad's cars are. Been around for a long time. Every day we drive it in and out. It's iconic. A lot of people know about it. There's so many signs out the front. At least the 1930s truck is something a little bit different.
Tiles for your walls, tiles for your floor, save more at Tar Warehouse.
The Harvey Norman Epic Birthday Sale must end Sunday, so the boss is in store to crack the whip.
I thought I'd drop in.
Yes, Mr. Harvey.
All this stock must clear now.
Yes, Mr. Harvey.
Make sure the deals are red hot.
Red hot, got it.
I'm counting on you to turn it around. Let's get moving. Do whatever it takes.
Yes,
Let's sell.
Yes, Mr. Harvey.
Give them our best birthday sale ever.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Harvey Norman Epic Birthday Sale.
In store now.
Hurry, and Sunday.
Harvey Norman Epic Birthday Sale.
Must end Sunday. Get in now for birthday bargains on all TVs. Now's the time to buy. All brands, all sizes. 55-inch, 65-inch, 75-inch, all the way up to a massive 86 inches.
All this stock must clear now.
Prices smashed on all Samsung TVs, all LG TVs, all Sony, all Hisense and all Panasonic TVs, plus all OLED TVs priced to clear. It's the best time to buy that big screen TV with birthday celebration deals in the Harvey Norman Epic Birthday Sale. Hurry, and Sunday.
Don't miss your chance to get 20% off Australia's largest range of tiles, pavers and stone at Amber this week. From fresh trends to timeless classics, Amber has the answer.
Amber has the answer.
If a sore back is keeping you up at night, get into 40 Winks, your back's biggest supporter. Right now, save up to 50% off all mattresses in our back care range. But hurry, sale ends Sunday. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
Take on any weather with Dulux Weather Shield. If it's worth doing, it's worth Dulux.
The Prime Minister says Australia doesn't have to choose between China and the United States as tensions between the major powers grow. The two are locked in a trade war, and as the region's leaders meet in Singapore, a senior US official has hit out at Beijing.
Paying respect to Australians who fell defending Singapore in a hot war over 70 years ago.
We will remember them.
Amid fears that a new Cold War is gripping the region as a rising power jostles with a superpower. Beijing is militarising islands in the South China Sea and is offering billions in building loans to extend its economic influence.
We all agree that empire and aggression have no place in the Indo-Pacific.
A senior American official has told 9 News that US Vice President Mike Pence will be laying out a sharp contrast to China's dangerous debt diplomacy over this summit and the next in Papua New Guinea. So Australia risks being caught between its major trading partner and key ally.
Our relationships with each of these major partners are different, and Australia doesn't have to choose.
But it does have to tread carefully. The balancing act continued last night over dinner.
We were having a social conversation, and it was a great pleasure to meet the Vice President.
And earlier in the day on the sidelines of the East Asia Summit during a one-on-one with Chinese Premier Li Keqiang.
We're getting on with business with China.
And after 2 years in the diplomatic deep freeze, Australia and China's relationship is beginning to thaw. The Chinese Premier applauded Australia's attitude, labelling it a turning point in the relationship after the ups and downs. Pronunciations being one.
You need to be able to know how to say ni hao if you're in the tourism industry of Australia. And shasha.
It's been 8 months, yet police still have little information about the murder of a new father in Sydney in March. Today, in the hope of bringing on a breakthrough, Errol Tokun's family made a heartbreaking appeal for help.
8 months on and the grieving continues. A mother and her daughters pleading for help to solve the murder of her son and their brother.
I beg you, please, just come forward. Anybody that's got information, please. Please, just, we're begging as a family.
In March, 38-year-old Errol Tokun was fatally stabbed in the heart when 3 men forced their way into his Darrick home. He'd recently celebrated fatherhood when he thought it was not possible after suffering a brain injury in a motorbike crash several years ago.
He had so much to live for. He did not deserve this at all. He was not capable of defending himself.
As investigations go, this may be as baffling as it gets. Police say there's no evidence Errol Tokun knew his attackers, and what was their motive? Why did they come here? Well, nothing was stolen, and he could well have been murdered for no reason.
He was a gentleman. He was a threat to no one. We don't know the reason why they turned up there. All we know is what happened.
Even the descriptions of his killers are vague. In their late teens or early 20s, heard running from the house, cheering about what they'd done.
We've put on his tombstone, once met, never forgotten. Because once you meet my brother, you'll never forget him.
If you can help them and the police, call Crime Stoppers. Damien Ryan, NBN News.
A man has been charged after police raided 2 Lake Macquarie properties, allegedly uncovering hydroponic cannabis setups. Police allege 3 rooms of a house at Swansea were being used to grow the drug. A subsequent search on another property at Belmont North allegedly led to the discovery of more cannabis plants. A 37-year-old man was arrested. He's due to face court later this month.
It's the biggest dive she's ever taken. Olympian Chantel Newbury was today sentenced to 3 months in prison after being found guilty of shoplifting. A Queensland court heard the 41-year-old stole a trolley of groceries from Woolworths. Other thefts from Myer, Coles, Priceline and Target followed several months later. Newbury, who won diving gold, was released on parole. Some people swear, some people take it on the chin. But when this next driver in the US was pulled over by police, he pulled out a gun and opened fire. The shootout was recorded on the patrol car's dash cam, giving extraordinary insight into the dangers officers face.
A standard police stop on a standard country road. The driver opens the door, then opens fire.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
2 officers and 29-year-old Lewis Kobos Zenobio exchanged shots. all captured on the squad car's dash cam. At one point, a passing driver is almost caught in the crossfire, forced to reverse away as the gunfight continues. The vision was played in court today where Mr. Kobos Sinobio faces 4 counts of attempted capital murder and a felony terror charge. The officers were unharmed, their squad car resembling something from a Hollywood movie. While the felon's girlfriend was taken into custody, Kobos Sinobio will likely recover from his gunshot wounds behind bars. In the United States, Charles Croucher, NBN News.
It's the time of year when Australian retailers prepare for the cash to rush in, and for good reason. Christmas is the period relied upon for the whole year. But before it's even begun in 2018, there's one casualty. Men's fashion chain Roger David.
Santa, as he should be.
Putting on some great offers today, especially as they build into Black Friday. So get in, save money and save time.
The National Retailers Association claims in New South Wales, Christmas sales from today will be $16.4 billion, up 6%. But beneath the feel-good message, there's a sober truth. A lot of local retailers are doing it tough.
They absolutely depend on this season to get them through the rest of the year.
I think there's a lot out there at the moment hanging on for this Christmas period sales. It's critically important. I don't think everyone will get there.
Today, 76-year-old menswear retailer Roger David said it will close its 57 remaining stores before Christmas. It'll cost 500 jobs. Christmas is the peak selling time for most retailers. If they get it right, they've got enough money to buy next season's stock. But if they get it wrong, it can be terminal for them. And some retailers are not expected to make the new year.
Particularly in fashion. Fashion, you've got to get it right. You get the wrong stock, you don't clear it, then you're in trouble.
The combination of foreign retailers, high rents, weak consumer confidence and growing online sales are causing the hurt.
We know that online sales are certainly up by 33% this year.
But in the malls and the high streets, there's another telltale of a tough life.
Everyone's on sale, or too early, or they have to be. They're constantly on sale.
Ross Greenwood, NBN News.
Now to Gavin Morris for a quick look at the weather. And Gav, another day of stark contrasts.
Yes, that's right. It is going to be incredibly hot across the Moree Plains in the far northwest, into the mid-30s, but throughout the Newcastle Central Coast area, the southerly's gone through. Rain is making its way across the Hunter Valley at the moment, only the low 20s at best, and that southerly is going to freshen along the mid-north coast, where there's been a couple of isolated storms from Mount Seaview towards Port Macquarie, but there'll be increased shower and storm activity over the northern New South Wales ranges, and further north, still nice and warm for another day for the northern rivers and the Gold Coast, but the cold is coming. Your local details head your way soon.
Thanks, Gav. After the break, a fisherman on a kayak survives a close encounter with a shark.
And 20 years on, Monica Lewinsky on the affair that almost ended a presidency.